university does in terms of the theater department, the music department, the art department, other opportunities that the public, well, they may never be a student here, things that the university has to offer to them through special programs and other events that the university provides.
Now, I know that you all do a great job of being able to reach out to the community, but there are also ways that the public can also support the ways that what all KASU is doing. Let's talk about some of those ways.
Well, as I said, we're the public media service of Arkansas State University. We derive a lot of our funding from the university, but that's not the only source of revenue. And of course, unlike other radio stations, and that's what sets us apart too, we don't have commercial advertising. So KASU turns to listeners to ask for them to support the station financially. KASU in and of itself is a nonprofit organization, so people can make a tax-deductible donation to help support what we do, because again, we don't run commercial advertising. We have other local businesses and organizations and groups that underwrite programming. That's just basically they give us a dollar amount, and we thank them on the air, acknowledging their gifts to KASU. And so those are some of the ways in which the community can help KASU serve it even better.
I know that you all have a spring drive that's going to be coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, April the 3rd is going to be our next on-air fundraiser, in which we're going to be pausing during our regular programming, just simply soliciting, asking listeners to make a donation so that the programming that they've enjoyed on our airwaves at 91.9 and all of our streaming platforms, so that can continue to be funded.
Yeah, but they can give any time at kasu.org.
Exactly.
Yeah. So don't wait until April 3rd.
Right.
Give now. One thing I want to talk about, I think is really cool, kind of switching gears a little bit, is a statewide competition that's taking place, and NPR has a part in this. It's called the Tiny Desk Concerts. Tell us about this and how this started.
Okay, well, there's actually multiple aspects to this. First of all, the NPR Tiny Desk Concerts. This is something that started about 15 years ago when NPR music correspondent Bob Boylan invited a band to come to NPR headquarters and play live in his cubicle, in his office. And that's just kind of grown from there. And now what's become known as the Tiny Desk Concerts, because literally their musicians crowded around his tiny desk in Washington. It's kind of become a phenomenon. They've been videotaping these and sharing them on YouTube and on social media, and a lot of these have gone viral. Some of the biggest names in music have come to be a part of NPR's Tiny Desk Concerts, among them Usher, Sting. I watched a great one by the Indigo Girls the other day. I think the most popular one ever has been T-Pain, who came on and actually proved that he can actually sing.
Right.
And did that in NPR studios there. So that's the Tiny Desk Concerts. Now, for the last several years, NPR has done a nationwide talent search for the best undiscovered musical talent, and they're calling those the Tiny Desk Contests. So this is what they do. They ask musicians, you got to be 18 or older, to record yourself singing an original song behind a desk, or have your desk somewhere there in the shot in the video. You submit these, and then NPR chooses who they feel is the best undiscovered talent in all of music. Some of the people who've won this in the past have now gone on to be Grammy Award winners, to sign major record deals, and it's just a great way to recognize that talent. And the prize package on a national level includes, of course, playing your own Tiny Desk concert, being featured on All Things Considered, and then touring the country on a tour sponsored by NPR.
That's fantastic. And so Arkansas is part of this, is that right?
Well, what KASU, along with the other two NPR stations in our state, KUAR in Little Rock and KUAF in Fayetteville, is doing, is we're going to go through all of the Arkansas entrants into the Tiny Desk contest, pick what we call 3 Arkansas favorites, and then these 3 Arkansas musicians will be playing together at a special event to be held in Little Rock this fall. So we hope that's an extra incentive for Arkansas musicians particularly to enter into the Tiny Desk contest, so that maybe they can win the national prize, or they can become one of those Arkansas favorites.
You know, that is a fantastic thing, a great opportunity, and we have such a wealth of talent. And of course, people can listen to your show, Arkansas Roots, where you feature that. That's every weekday at noon on KASU, and also throughout the weekend as well. But I mean, I could just see a lot of people from around the area that could register or could enter into that. And they would do very well.
Well, there's no particular style or genre. They even say we're not really that concerned about the technical quality. You know, it doesn't have to be a polished production. They're just looking for talent, and the talent will shine through regardless of what the video or the audio quality may be like.
Right. And so tell us if people are interested in this, what can they do to be able to register and get involved in this?
Well, first of all, they can go to npr.org/tinydeskcontest. That's npr.org/tinydeskcontest. And there you'll find all the rules, regulations. You have to be 18 or older. It's got to be an original song that you've never done before. And at midnight on March the 14th, that's the deadline for you to upload your video and be considered to be part of the entrance into the contest.
So deadline March 14th. That's coming up pretty quick.
Yes, very quickly.
Do you happen to know like how many might be, like how many entrants might be expected to go into this? Or?
Honestly, it's definitely in the hundreds, probably in the thousands nationwide. There have been several dozen from Arkansas over past years. In fact, if you go to npr.org/tinydeskcontest, you can actually see the videos from past years' contests, and you can sort them by state. So if you're curious, you can go on there and look and find some great artists from right here in our state, or you can, again, search it to any region of the United States.
Now, if artists have been in this before, can they resubmit? I mean, can they do it again?
Yes, absolutely. If you've not won before, you can always enter again, but one entrant per musician.
Right. And so
per year.
And so people who couldn't be would be like people who are like on their own labels or those kinds of things.
Exactly. They're looking for people that aren't signed to major record labels. And I think they also say that you can't have your own professional publicist promoting your music. That's another thing that they limit that.
They just want to, what the talent is. We got a tiny desk right here.
There you go.
All we need is a guitar or something like that. Right. You'll be able to do that. We could have literally our own tiny desk concert like right here.
And that's the thing, is that it's something that anybody can do, especially, I mean, with the simplicity of your smartphone. You can make a video with your phone and upload that so easily.
Yeah, people are doing that all the time anyway, so you've got an opportunity to be able to do that by March 14th. So just a great idea of how KASU is involved in these things and being able to talk about, I can only imagine if you, KUAF in Fayetteville and KUAR in Little Rock, if y'all have got like hundreds of them, it's going to take a little bit to kind of go through. Do y'all have a deadline as to when you need to have all that done by, or a way of having them judged?
Well, again, what we'll do is simply look at all the Arkansas entrants that have been uploaded to the national contest by March 14th.
Right, okay.
And then a panel of judges from here in Arkansas will review just those Arkansas entrants to determine who the 3 Arkansas favorites will be.
Fantastic. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Arkansas Roots Music Festival. KASU's Marty Scarborough is the program director of KASU Public Media. We'll continue the conversation after this quick timeout. We'll be right back after this.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
Are you looking for an education that will take you places? At Arkansas State University, we're preparing students for success in today's ever-changing job market. With expert faculty and cutting-edge technology, we're creating an environment where students can thrive and reach their full potential. And with a diverse student body and a supportive community, you'll find plenty of options to get involved and make lifelong connections. Discover all that Arkansas State University has to offer. Apply today and start your journey to a brighter future.
Red Wolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you howl.
At Arkansas State, we want you to go. Go where learning soars, takes flight, and rockets ahead. Go for experiences, internships, and scholarships. We want you to go. Become A-State Maine. Are you ready to go? Go.astate.edu for details.
Live from the ASU-TV studios in the School of Media and Journalism, this is A-State Connections.
And welcome back to A-State Connections on KASU and ASU-TV. We're continuing our conversation with KASU's Public Radio's Program Director, Marty Scarborough. Marty, thanks so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
I want to talk about the Arkansas Roots Music Festival that's coming up. So you've got to tell me about, first of all, Arkansas Roots, the radio show. We talked about it a little bit in the first segment, but tell us about the show and how the show originated.
Well, about 9.5 years ago, we had a program that the radio station was running in the noon hour that was ending. It was a nationally syndicated program, so we were looking for something to insert into that time slot. And myself and the station manager at the time, Mike Doyle, had talked about doing some sort of a musical program in the noon hour to kind of break up all the news and talk that we had been doing from 5 in the morning until 7 at night. And we were trying to come up with some concept. And the idea that was proposed was doing a program of nothing but Arkansas music. And at first, you know, the first thought was like, well, could we do a 5-day-a-week, 1-hour-a-day program and not just be repeating the same stuff over and over again? And we quickly found out there is such an incredible wealth of music that this state has produced, dating back to the 1920s all the way up until today. And so Arkansas Roots has developed from what was initially just primarily a music program to more of a magazine-type program where, yes, we do play songs in virtually all styles and genres by Arkansas-connected musicians who were born here, who lived here for a significant period of time, currently live here, you know, jazz, blues, rock and roll, rockabilly, country music, you name it, we've probably played it on Arkansas Roots. But beyond that, we've kind of developed also kind of covering the culture of our state, particularly the arts endeavors that are going on, doing features about art exhibitions, about concerts that are happening in the state. Arkansas Roots also has in-depth features about the musicians themselves. We've got a lot of great volunteer correspondents who come onto the program and share about their unique insights into Arkansas music and the arts.
Very good. So Arkansas Roots, people can check that out. Noon every weekday.
Yes, and then from noon to 3 on Saturdays as well. And we've even got our own Facebook page. We encourage people, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the show and what's coming up on upcoming episodes of Arkansas Roots, they can find Arkansas Roots on Facebook. And of course, that's at ROOTS, those kind of roots.
Exactly. So let's talk about the Arkansas Roots Music Festival.
Okay. This is an event which in past years we've partnered with the Department of English, Philosophy, and World Languages to make the Arkansas Roots Music Festival the culminating event of their annual Delta Symposium. And this is an event that that department has hosted for, I guess, about 30 years now, where it's a multi-day scholarly look at the culture of the Mississippi River Delta. And so as a final event of that, it's been a festival we're inviting in different musical acts. We've had the connection now with the Arkansas Roots radio program, where the Arkansas Roots Music Festival showcases live performances by many of the musicians that you've heard on the Arkansas Roots radio program.
Okay, so tell us about it. Previously, it was held in Jonesboro.
Yes.
Tell us about the new location this year.
Well, this year we're actually bringing in another entity here on campus to help make the Arkansas Roots Music Festival possible. This year we're actually also teaming up not only with the Department of English, Philosophy, and World Languages, but also with the A-State Heritage Sites, one of which is the Johnny Cash Boyhood Home in Dice. And so this year's Arkansas Roots Music Festival is actually going to be on a stage set up on the lawn in front of the historic Johnny Cash Boyhood Home.
Now, this is a little different from the Cash Porch series that was held over the summer, and that they were actually playing on the front porch of the Johnny Cash Boyhood Home.
Yeah, that only accommodates about 2 musicians. I guess that's a tiny porch concert.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, yeah, this is different than the other big music festivals that have been held near that property in recent years. You know, the big ones where we've had nationally known country and rock musicians come out there and play. This is going to be something that's a little bit smaller, but it's going to be a very unique and different kind of musical event with the stage set up literally there in front of the house.
Very good. So tell us about who's going to be coming and performing.
Okay, we're super excited. We've got 5 different musical acts from across the state of Arkansas. The event is on Saturday, April the 1st, and at noon that day, we're going to start off with the Casey Penn Band. Casey is an acclaimed songwriter from Central Arkansas. She just released her first album for Mountain Fever Records, which is one of the biggest producers of bluegrass and Americana music. She and her band play kind of that sort of style of music. Bluegrass, Americana, country, it's acoustic, a little bit of gospel music as well. It's going to be a great way to kick off that concert with her and her 5-piece band.
Very good. Who else is going to be playing?
At 1 o'clock that afternoon, we've got Rachel Ammons, who is literally a one-woman band. Many people may know her from the time she spent together with Smilin' Bob Lewis as part of the duo Tyrannosaurus Chicken.
Okay.
And their music was as unique as their name. Well, Smilin' Bob passed away a few years ago, but Rachel carries on, and she plays this style of music that's rock and roll, and it's Delta blues, and it's folksy. And again, she does this with multiple instruments all by herself, singing and accompanying herself. So if you've never seen Rachel Ammons, Google her and watch one of her videos, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
And that is going to be a great show in itself.
Yes.
But that's not the only show, and we're not fooling about this.
No,
They're being on April Fool's.
Yeah, exactly. So, those are the first 2 acts right there in the middle of the day at 2 o'clock that afternoon. It's going to be Wiley Bigger. He's from Marion down in Crittenden County. He's a young man who actually is taking some classes here at Arkansas State University, working toward a certification in museum studies. Wiley's a young man who is heavily influenced by the music of Memphis and Sun Records and those early rock and rollers and the blues musicians from in and around his hometown of Marion. He plays piano, writes his own material. I tell people he's kind of like if you take Jerry Lee Lewis and Harry Connick Jr. and Michael Bublé and mix them up a little bit, you've got Wiley Bigger.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so he and his band will be playing a really high energy set that afternoon.
All right, so that's at 3 o'clock.
Right.
Okay, so what's next?
4 o'clock, we're really excited to have another Arkansas State University student, Mary Beth Bird, who'll be performing with her accompanying musicians there. Mary Beth made it far into one of the previous seasons of the TV competition, The Voice, and she's currently a contestant on this season of American Idol. She is an extremely polished, talented, just incredible voice, sings country and inspirational music, a little bit of pop, a little bit of a gospel in there, and she and her musicians are going to really bring a great musical moment to the Johnny Cash Boyhood Home when she plays at 4 o'clock that afternoon.
Yeah, another great representative of Arkansas State University.
Absolutely.
And just as good a person, and we're talking about just by way of a soul, a person as she is a performer.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's going to be a lot of fun. So Mary Beth Bird, so all you bird watchers out there who are watching her for American Idol and also that'll be at 4 o'clock. And then anything else?
One more band is going to close us out. We're going to go out on a big, high, energetic, rock and roll, bluesy kind of note with the Tina Causey Band. This is a really unique, I think, 5 or 6 piece group from Central Arkansas. Tina is actually not a native Arkansan, but she moved to our state. She's a Mexican-American with a very powerful voice, reminiscent of Janis Joplin and some of those other big blues singers from the past. She and her multiracial band play a great style of hard blues and rock and roll. If you're a fan of like Howlin' Wolf and the Allman Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, this is someone that you won't want to miss seeing either, the Tina Causey Band.
Boy, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There on April the 1st. And so hopefully there won't be any rain.
In case of rain, we will be moved indoors to the Dice Colony Circle. There's a visitor center in the administration building there that's tied into the Johnny Cash Boyhood Home there. So we do have a backup location in case of rain.
So people just need to show up, right?
Well, they need to get tickets first because not only will the ticket get you in the door, but it'll also get you a couple of other things there if you come that afternoon.
Sure.
Tickets are $30. That's for adults. If you're 18 and under, you're admitted free. And the $30 ticket price, of course, gets you into the festival, but also gets you a tour of the Johnny Cash Boyhood Home, which typically just to go down and see that, it's $15. So you can come down, tour the home. It'll be open during the festival. There will also be some craftsmen and artisans who will be down there doing demonstrations of a variety of different types of art. There'll be food trucks down there as well. Native Brew Works from here in Jonesboro has donated some adult beverages, and if you're 21 and over and would like to participate there, they'll be provided for you as well for that $30 admission fee.
So how do people get tickets for this?
KASU.org/tickets. That's KASU.org/tickets. And another great thing about this, it's a nonprofit event as well. Any proceeds that are gained from this Arkansas Roots Music Festival will go back into the upkeep and maintenance of the Johnny Cash Boyhood Home.
Boy, that's fantastic. So KASU.org/tickets.
That's right.
Where you can get information for that. And that's going to be a lot of fun. That's on Saturday, the 1st of April.
Yes, noon to 5 that day.
All right. So get your tickets, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Before we let you run, this has been a lot of fun to be able to talk about KASU. Anything else you would like to add about anything maybe we didn't talk about?
Well, again, just make sure that people are aware that this is a local nonprofit service. We've got things that you can't hear on other radio stations, whether they're local programs like Arkansas Roots or Music from the Isles or Tradition or Mr. Rogers' Rock Collection. I can't name them all, but there's a lot of those. We also are heard around the world on a variety of streaming platforms. We've got our own KASU Public Media app that you can download to your phone. You can listen to us online at kasu.org. You can follow us on a variety of social media. We're on Facebook as KASU Public Radio, and the Arkansas Roots Radio program actually has its own Facebook page as well.
Yep, so lots of great ways for you to be able to enjoy the different programming from KASU. And Marty, thank you so much for being here to tell us about it today.
Hey, thanks, Jonathan.
Appreciate that. Well, that'll do it for this edition of A-State Connections. I want to thank my guest, Marty Scarborough, who always does a fantastic job. I also want to thank Instructor of Creative Media Production, Galen Perkins, and his amazing students who are behind the scenes running the show. Thanks to engineers Derek Herring and Clayton Holderfield for their help. And also thank you for watching. And I'll see you right here next Wednesday at 1:30 for another edition of A-State Connections. So long, everybody.